So we are continuing our conversation about prayer each week, and this week we're going to combine it with the Faith 5 devotion. So you're going to want to print off that devotion and maybe even the sample that came with it. You're going to want some paper and markers, and then you may even want to print off a world map online, or if you have a globe or whatever would show the world. You're going to want all of these things because Jesus, our text for today is the same as the gospel on Sunday from John chapter 17, except it's going to be verse 6 through 11. And so that's on your Faith 5 devotion. And the things that stuck out to me is that Jesus, again, is praying for his disciples in that moment and in the world to come. And he continually reminds them that he's praying for their protection and their safety because it's going to be very hard work for these first disciples to go out into the world and share how God is made known in the life of Jesus, his life, his ministry, his death, resurrection, and ascension. And so he wanted to pray for them to have courage and protection from the Holy Spirit during this time. And so I was thinking about prayer, and one of the activities in here is when you are sitting down to have a conversation about this text, to talk about people in your lives that you would want to have prayed God's protection over. And so this is the sample that's online, whether that be mom or dad or maybe a teacher or a friend or a coach. And you can draw pictures, you can write their name, and just talking about them is a form of prayer. So that's an activity that is in the Faith 5. But I wanted to add something to that because I think Jesus is praying for the much larger world than just the people that we know. So that's why I wanted you to get out a map of the world. And as you're going through the map, you can color it, you can talk about what is happening in the world. All over the world right now, everybody is struggling with coronavirus and figure out how to live in this time and how to keep moving forward. So you can pray for that. You could pray for children on the border or families who are being separated at the borders. You can pray for those over in the world that are suffering from war. You can pray in all parts of the world where there is famine and poverty. And you might actually know, or maybe your parents might know, or grandparents might know, specific things that are happening around the world. For me, when I think of around the world, and especially into Africa, I think of the places that I have already been. And so this shield was on the wall during church on Sunday. And I wanted to take it down and tell you where it came from. It came from a community called Sanya Juu. And Sanya Juu is in Tanzania, Africa, and that's where I was on my mission experience. And when we were there, they made us a shield out of cowhide to hang in our home. And as they make this shield, it's kind of like a prayer shawl that you might see in our church or maybe even in your home. That when they make this shield, and it takes an awful lot to get all of that fur off of there and thread all of these pieces of hair, they tell me that when they make this, they are praying over the person to receive it. And so you are to hang it outside, hang it at your door so that when people come in your door, they also are being prayed over as this was created and as the shield hangs in your house for protection. So if you ever come to my house, you will see this right by our front door as a reminder of the partnership with this community. So when I'm praying for the world, my mind always goes to a place that I have already been. And so, but it also reminds me that people are praying for me from way across the world, even 20 years later. So, just as all of these are reminders and ways to pray, Jesus is inviting us to this moment to make God known, to be of support and encouragement to one another, and to continue to pray even when it's hard. Maybe today these resources of pictures and maps might be of help. Because brothers and sisters, I do invite you to pray with me for all of those around the world. Have a blessed day.